Some TV shows simply cannot seem to miss, maintaining a shockingly consistent level of quality across many seasons. Even the most beloved TV series tend to have bad seasons here and there, either dipping in certain places such as Rick and Morty, or slowly declining over time, like the pitiful ending of Game of Thrones. Conversely, other all-time great TV shows somehow kept up their best efforts across many years, refusing to drop the ball on even a single season. These rare TV shows that never had a bad season tend to have a few things in common. Usually they're poignant drama series focusing on heavily subjects such as crime, envisioned with a clear beginning, middle and an end from the start. That being said, there are some shocking exceptions from other genres, with everything from situational comedies to kid-friendly animated epics having the chance to endure in quality over a long time. Welcome to Popcorn Programming, and here are 10 perfect shows that have no bad seasons. Pop pop! In number 10, we have Breaking Bad. Considered to be one of, if not the greatest TV shows ever made by many, Vince Gilligan's Breaking Bad is a true masterpiece of television, starring the previously typecast Bryan Cranston as a funny man, and then unknown Aaron Paul. The show follows the exploits of a chemistry teacher who teams up with an old flunky student to cook meth in order to make money for his family after receiving a deadly cancer diagnosis. The whole series is one giant character study that slowly sees a mild-mannered, down-on-his-luck dad transform into an egotistical criminal mastermind for the sake of trying to provide for his family. After all, he is the danger. Often the enduring appeal of Breaking Bad is its remarkably consistent quality. There isn't an ounce of fat on this tight writing that ensures that each subsequent season neatly flows into the next. Though it realistically could have gone on for much longer, Breaking Bad neatly ends at the perfect moment in the season 5 finale, forever leaving its mark on a network television. And there's several of the best ever in TV show history, but in particular focus is the death and each individual episode, and I won't spoil which ones they are for you if you haven't seen them. At number 9, we have Better Call Saul. Breaking Bad left some massive shoes to fill upon its ending, and following up the critically acclaimed series may have seemed like an incredibly daunting task for Vince Gilligan. However, Better Call Saul not only meets the lofty expectations of storytelling that was set by its progenitor series, but it arguably surpasses them. The spin-off prequel somehow manages to perfectly balance two timelines, telling the story of how Jimmy McGill became the sleazy lawyer Saul Goodman, and how he evaded the authorities following the collapse of Walter White's drug empire. Though it might start a bit slower, every single season of Better Call Saul is packed full of tense cons, heists, and schemes as Jimmy cheats his way to victory over and over again, heedless of the consequences. The new characters introduced in this show, such as Howard Hamlin and Lalo Salamanca, are all phenomenal additions to the Breaking Bad universe. At a certain season, Better Call Saul becomes better than Breaking Bad, proving that Gilligan learned many lessons on how to improve from the first series. In number 8, we have Malcolm in the Middle. Speaking of Bryan Cranston, his touch of quality expands far beyond the bounds of Vince Gilligan's true crime universe, as he provided his mettle far earlier during Malcolm in the Middle. Running from 2000 to 2006, Malcolm in the Middle was a sitcom that centered on the working-class Wilkerson family, consisting of an eccentric married couple and their 4 sons. The middle child, the titular Malcolm, is gifted with an incredible natural intellect that provides him with opportunities just as much as it does get him in trouble. Malcolm in the Middle eschewed many sitcom traditions, such as the traditional laugh tracks and live studio audiences, in favour of shooting on film, with clever camera work and Malcolm's frequent fourth wall breaks, in which he talks to the audience. This fresh style kept the show highly entertaining throughout its 7-season run, even as the story developed with the Wilkersons gaining a new son and the evolution of eldest child Francis's adult escapades. Above all, the show is a perfect encapsulation of what growing up in the early 2000s was like. In number 7, we have The Twilight Zone. Despite being released back before TVs were even consistently released in colour, The Twilight Zone has somehow endured as an immovable pop culture touchstone since its inception all the way back in 1959. An anthology series, The Twilight Zone begins and ends each episode with narration from the glorious voice of host Rod Serling, before launching into some disturbing tale, often laden with supernatural or science fiction elements. The brooding theme music, eerie tone, and shockingly good special effects for the time still hold up relatively unscathed today. One of the greatest horror TV shows ever made, let alone among the anthology horror genre that the show popularised, The Twilight Zone is a classic for a reason. Most anthology series tend to have dramatic dips in quality just by the nature of the format, but none of the Twilight Zone's 5 seasons ever had so many duds that they dragged down the whole series. It's no wonder that the Twilight Zone kept on being revived multiple times, including one instance as recently as 2019. In number 6 we have Mad Men. Between Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead and Mad Men, AMC was unstoppable as a TV channel in the mid-2000s. The latter series in particular could be praised for never having a single season that stood out as especially bad, keeping up the intrigue and poignant drama over 7 long seasons. Set in the 1960s, Mad Men tells the story of an ad agency's attempt to stay on top of the market in such a turbulent time period, navigating office politics and relationships in the same breath. The star of the show is easily John Hamm's Don Draper, a role that he has since become famous for, and for good reason. Don's evolution as a character is particularly captivating, from his personal struggles to his reaction to the ever-changing world around him. Some seasons of Mad Men may have been stronger than others, but calling any of them downright bad would be an egregious mistake. In number 5, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender. Sometimes a piece of media ostensibly created for children can break the boundaries of what is expected of the animation genre through sheer force of quality. Look at Bluey for a more modern example. That's exactly what happened with Nickelodeon's Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was a short fantasy series that remains one of the greatest TV shows ever made in general. The story takes place in an Asian-inspired fantasy world in which the 4 major nations each have people who control the 4 elements of nature, those being fire, water, air, and earth. When the Fire Nation attacks, it's up to the Avatar Aang who can master all 4 elements to save the day. Each of Avatar: The Last Airbender's 3 seasons or books have their own recognisable story to tell, following Aang and his group in specific emotional and physical places along their harrowing journey to defeat the Fire Lord. The world building of the series is second to none, and it knows how to balance moments of levity and kid-friendly comedy with more serious subjects and themes. Indeed, the average viewer has to strain quite hard to find any fault in Avatar: The Last Airbender whatsoever. At least this is the case for the show. You're able to find a flaw or two in the film. In number 4, we have The Good Place, a comedy series like no other. The Good Place starts off as a quirky, offbeat joke fest that soon proves it has more tricks up its sleeve than you might initially anticipate. The show follows the afterlife of Eleanor, a scummy woman who dies after leading a fairly self-centered and unremarkable life. In some grand cosmic fluke, she's got into the spot in the Good Place, essentially heaven, and has to fake her way through the cosmic realm of abundance and bliss to prove she belongs there with the help of ethics professor Chidi. Every season of The Good Place has its own distinct story, with the shocking mid-season twist of the first series setting into motion a totally unexpected new direction for the plot. Eleanor, Chidi, Tahani, and Jason are all brilliant characters with their own flaws, keeping them from eternal salvation. Intertwining jokes with poignant moments of growth and loss. Despite how dramatically different the stakes on the story of each season is, The Good Place certainly feels like a heavenly bit of TV the whole way through. In number 3, we have The Sopranos. While plenty of crime shows have entered the annals of TV greatness, no mafia-centric series does it quite like The Sopranos. One of HBO's most successful original shows, The Sopranos follows the titular New Jersey-based crime family, particularly the patriarch Tony Soprano, as he goes about his illegal misdeeds. To add an interesting layer to the drama, Tony is examining his mental health in a manner unheard of for the typically machismo crime lord, regularly seeing a psychiatrist. I'm going to stop the New Jersey accent then, if that was New Jersey. The Sopranos can be quite the complex and thought-provoking show. Its cast of criminal characters are undoubtedly bad people, but it's hard not to sympathise with them to some degree. a testament of the series' absurdly good character development. Some episodes work as great bottled stories that need little context, while others advance a serialized narrative in stunning ways. In either case, none of The Sopranos' 6 seasons can truly be thought of as a weak link. And there is a pretty decent film to boot as well if you still have that itch for more Sopranos in your life. In number 2, we have Peaky Blinders. From The Sopranos to Breaking Bad to Peaky Blinders, criminals just seem to make excellent subjects for consistently good television. Rather than taking place in New Jersey or New Mexico, Peaky Blinders trains familiar Americana for 90s, 20s England, in it, bruv. Specifically, Birmingham. Here, a clan of Irish criminals, the Shelby family, plot to maintain their vice grip on the city's criminal underworld. Cillian Murphy's Thomas Shelby is one of the greatest performances of his career, navigating delicate and tense situations with astonishing reliability. Each successive season of Peaky Blinders builds upon the last in a way that gradually ratchets up the tension to a mad boiling point, expertly weaving together multiple storylines with unbelievable deftness. It's hard to believe a show like Peaky Blinders is as good as it is, let alone that it maintains its quality across 5 long seasons. And apparently there's a film coming out. Even better. In number 1, we have Hannibal. As great as organised crime is for TV, sometimes a single serial killer is all a TV show truly needs to make a lasting and worthwhile narrative. The likes of Dexter may outshine it in popular culture, but as far as quality is concerned, Hannibal is unmatched when it comes to bloody, captivating drama. Essentially working as a prequel to the Silence of the Lambs movie, Hannibal follows the cannibalistic psychiatrist Hannibal Lecter, still early on in his career as a serial killer, hoping to evade capture while giving in to his sick desires. Great as Anthony Hopkins is as Hannibal Lecter, the character truly feels like the role Mads Mikkelsen was born to play, bringing the vile doctor to life with slimy smoothness. The series perches on a unique take on the classic priest procedural, providing some insight as to how a mind could get as depraved as Hannibal, while showing the full gory fallout of his gruesome crimes. For those that can stomach it, Hannibal presents some of the best TV around with its consistency to quality ratio. And there you have it, there's our list. So, what do you think? What TV shows do you think has no bad seasons? Let us know in the comments down below. Like this video if you've enjoyed it, and be sure to click subscribe if you are new around here. That's all for now, so thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Pop pop!